In the Jungle with Jim Rome. Weekdays noon to 3 on WSKO Syracuse. A Cumulus media station. The voice of the Central New York sports fan. The Score. 1260. Welcome to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. Josh is back.
I'm back.
Jim immediately in the chat said Josh is there. The quarter inch of snow didn't keep him away.
God damn it, Jim. I mean, I was snowed in. It's much different out there. Just 40 minutes away is different weather.
Last week was tough. I mean, I couldn't drive into the studio parking lot.
That would have killed me. You remember the last time? I mean, I was out of it. The entire show, I was gassed.
You were huffing and puffing, walking up that, it's 2 blocks away? Not even.
Also, think about yourself. You know, I got a lot of slack. I was in the chat early last week. I got a lot of slack for that. Think about you, Jim, or Pat, driving 45 minutes to do a 1-hour show.
Yep.
Driving back. You drive more than you're here for, and this is just for fun for me, folks. I'm out here for the love of the game. So I show up when I can.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through it last week. I would have had to plow myself out.
I didn't expect you to come last week.
I know. It wasn't a you thing. I'm talking to the people now who were giving me crap.
Jim says, have Mark hook you up remotely. I guess we could do that, theoretically.
Probably could do that.
Yeah.
In the future,
you've got a mic at home.
I do.
Use Clean Feed, which is what we used on the Man-Child show for any remote broadcasting we had to do.
All right.
I guess we could set that up. Get you in the StreamYard as well.
Sure. I'd be on the show.
Yeah, you'd be on the show.
All right.
So I guess, we could think about that in the future.
That's a productive comment there, Jim.
Yeah.
That's a good comment. I mean, appreciate that. Not the slander that I had to sit through last week. I couldn't even defend myself.
Jim said this is 2025. That other show is still in the 80s. I'm not going to take any Man-Child show slander, Jim. I was a part of that show for 3 years.
Still in the 80s.
I donated a lot of my time to that show, and that was just for the love of the game.
That's
too.
true.
Stone said, don't blame him. I'm not leaving the house if there's not a chance I'm getting paid.
Okay. Hey, I like to have fun.
Yeah,
this is
you're a
good
man
time.
that likes to have fun.
I work in I work for the university, but I don't like my job. And so I like to have fun here.
Yeah,
it's a good out for me.
Yeah.
And it's healthy for my mental health. I think.
I'm glad that we can use this as a therapeutic time for you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
That and our conversations before and after shows are always fun.
They're electric.
I think one of these days we should just record one of those just for us.
After the show. Let's do it. I got time.
We don't even have to release it or anything, or we could put it out as a outside the box score after dark.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? We got time. Nothing's going up on that thing.
No, I haven't made an extra innings video in a long time.
Things happen.
Jim said, you mean like a podcast? Yeah, we did have a podcast for a long time.
We did.
Rip the hot stove. Though.
All right.
You should just start another one.
I mean, we could.
We could.
People do it all the time.
Yeah. We're a couple of professional broadcasters. Stone said, I'll hang out post-show. Post-show is my lunch break on Saturdays. So there we go. We can just keep the live stream going.
We have the audience. There you go.
Yeah, we won't be on air. We'll just keep the live stream
Jim Rome
going.
gets shut down.
Yeah.
We keep going.
He doesn't work on Saturdays. Come on now.
It's
Jimmy Rome, he's been doing it far too long to work weekends.
Isn't it the syndicated Friday broadcast? I figured. I don't know how that works.
No, there's a weekend guy.
Oh,
on
screw it.
I'm glad we can just call it the Infinity Sports Network now. I no longer have to call it the brand new Infinity Sports Network, which was in a memo I received.
Oh, memo? You got a memo for that? I didn't even think they thought you worked here.
Some people don't think I work here. It's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
A lot of people assume I'm just a guy that hangs around here. And
that's what I am.
Yeah, that's what you are. But they'll let me in, and they'll let me in the front door, and I wanted to get it before you rang the bell. I'm like, I have a key fob. I am an employee.
Do you know where you're going, sir? You go,
yeah. It's like,
Simple.
yeah, I've been here for multiple years. This show is coming up on the 2-year anniversary.
It is.
Come February. It'll be 2 years of outside the box score, which is wild to me that we've been doing this for 2 years now. Anyway, we will actually talk about sports today and not just talk about ourselves.
That's nice.
SU basketball playing today at 3 o'clock. Boston College on everyone's favorite network to watch the ACC.
The CW.
The CW. Going to talk SU football. Big sad news yesterday. Kyle McCord is leaving.
Oh, yeah. I was like, did somebody die?
No.
Kinda.
It kind of feels like it. Real sad news for a lot of SU fans, myself included. I really wanted him to come back. I didn't expect him to.
Do you think that Beck going into the transfer pool kind of influenced that to be like, well, maybe there's less of a quarterback?
No, because he's going to go to Miami.
Who do you mean? Carson Beck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's...
Well, I'm saying, do you think it lent him to go into the draft because there's less of a top quarterback in the draft now? You know what I mean? So, it could help his stock.
Maybe. I mean, here's the thing I've never understood about Kyle McCord is, where he's getting, placed in draft grades.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's getting, third, fourth round grades. And So I don't know if it influenced him that much. It probably did a little bit.
Yeah.
As soon as he saw, this guy isn't going, but I don't know how many people would sit here and argue that Carson Beck is that much better than Kyle McCord.
No.
In terms of his arm talent, he isn't.
It's certainly a name.
He was on a great Georgia team.
Yeah.
I personally don't think Carson Beck is all that great. And it's next, and part of it is next year is going to be such a deep quarterback class.
Yep.
Next year is going to have 12 quarterbacks coming out of college that are potential, that have legit potential. Where this year you've got Shedeur Sanders, you've got Cam Ward. Those are the top two guys. Personally, I kind of lean Ward over Sanders.
I saw something that Shedeur wasn't going to the draft. Was that? Did I get got?
Yeah, I think
I got got.
Yeah, I think you ate the garbage.
I didn't buy into it fully, but I saw it and I was like, I got to check that.
Yeah, Pat said let's name those QBs coming out next year, Mark. Well, Arch Manning probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, Quinn Ewers, who I'm not super high on, but if he doesn't leave this year, which it seems likely that he
transfers.
Either him or Arch are going to transfer. So Ewers, there's that what's that?
Dylan Raiola.
Yep, Raiola. There's the kid from LSU, whose name I forget. I saw a list of them yesterday. Is the reason I brought that
up. Why's Pat doing this? I
don't know.
You're getting flustered.
Yeah, I know.
We're naming college football quarterback. You know this ain't our strong suit, damn it, Pat.
Rayola's a freshman? Holy cow.
So it's not Raiola.
Yeah, not Raiola. I'll have to find the list, but I did see a list on Twitter yesterday of 15 quarterbacks, and I looked at it quickly. So I don't remember all of the names. I remember the kid from LSU was on there. I remember Ewers was on there. Beck's on there. It's going to be a pretty deep, theoretically, class.
Sure.
Nussmeier. I was gonna say his name's German. Nussmeier. Thank you, Pat. And yeah, you know that college football quarterbacks is not my strong suit out of the big guys.
Sure. Penn State guy, Aller.
Yeah, that guy stinks.
He'll come out next year.
Yeah, he'll come out.
Yeah, name.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will be part of that crew, but he's just not good, in my opinion.
He got more hype near the end of the season. It's crazy what the playoff does for these kids because they were talking about both of these quarterbacks as monster prospects. Then you watch that game and you're like,
is Riley Leonard this year or next year? The Notre Dame quarterback. I'm asking Pat.
I got you.
Mainly. I don't remember where Riley Leonard is. Well, you've got Will Howard this year, who's not getting much attention at all, which I think is interesting. Leonard is a senior. Okay, that's what I thought. But do you know if he's going to come back?
Yeah.
Guys get 12 years of eligibility now if they want it. So I don't know what Riley Leonard's eligibility situation is sitting at.
I don't know if he'll come back. I think Notre Dame is the most interesting case to see what happens with Marcus Freeman. Now that they've made the finals now, I'd be shocked if he's not getting interviews after their season ends.
Jim found the exact list I was talking about.
Bango.
And put it in the chat.
Jim is our producer.
Yeah. the guy from Tennessee whose name I can't pronounce. It's Iamaleava, I think.
Sure.
Nico Iamaleava. Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU, Sam Leavitt out of ASU, Carson Beck out of who knows where he's going to be. Same with the Ewers. Lenora Sellers out of South Carolina, and Dante Moore out of Oregon. Moore we haven't really seen because Oregon had Dylan Gabriel this year.
Yeah.
So we're not sure. Yeah, I know Beck committed to Miami. Or it was rumored that he committed to Miami. I wasn't sure if that was official.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I saw some stuff about Beck going to Miami. I think part of it is like his girlfriend goes there or something.
Ooh.
He did officially commit. Okay. So yeah, he's going to Miami. And so all those guys, I mean, Lenora Sellers, I think, is quite good. Ewers, I'm not entirely sold on.
I don't know why he was playing all year. I really don't know why.
Yeah, I think Manning's. Yeah, Pat says Ewers stinks. Yeah, I never really thought it was like he was that special.
No, he had to be so good in my mind to play over Manning
Arch
just for the
Manning,
name.
yeah.
We're talking just name guys now. Like that dude just has to start in my mind. And now he's sat the bench for 2 years.
He's a Manning.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on there.
And I don't know if did you ever watch Arch when he was in high school, because they used to televise his games on ESPN. That guy's tremendous.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He did fumble last night.
Oh, the Miami women or women's basketball team with the Cavinder twins are coming to Syracuse tomorrow.
For what?
To play. They're at Syracuse.
I might be in Syracuse tomorrow. You know, one of them, Haley, I believe, dates Jake Ferguson, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
So maybe Jake's up here. Probably not. There's no reason for him to.
No.
But he's in the off season. Maybe he travels with the gal.
Yeah, maybe he does. That'd
be huge.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
the other one dates back. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
what I was saying. His girlfriend goes to Miami.
Oh,
it's the other Cavinder twin.
Yeah, because they bounced around though. They were at TCU.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
I'd follow him anywhere.
Yeah. She goes out with Carson Beck. So that's part of.
They could go play in the Latvian league, and I'd go over there.
Sure.
I don't know. Just trying to find a long place.
Yeah, I don't know.
Australia. Playing in China.
They're playing for the Shanghai Sharks.
I'm Chinese now.
Sure. Stone said, Cavinder, I hardly know her. Bang.
Bang.
one of the great joke formats of all time. I always laugh at those jokes. But yeah, so we will talk more about Kyle McCord. We got sidetracked there with talking about all the other quarterbacks. We will talk more about Kyle McCord and his decision to leave and what that means for Syracuse next year with a very difficult upcoming schedule for the 2025 season.
So I keep hearing.
It's we'll go through it. It's tough. It's not great, Josh. That, SU basketball, and much more coming up here on Outside the Box Score, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score. Syracuse pick 'em today at BC. Empty the account. BC is really bad. So is Syracuse. They didn't win that Georgia Tech game due to their high-flying offense.
What gives you any sense of confidence against SU? This is what I would convince myself with Georgetown teams for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, well, they're really bad. I mean, we got to beat
Pat,
DePaul.
we're not doing Rack of the Week.
If you'd like to put some in the chat, I'll look them
because
over.
it brought up because he wanted us to talk about Joy Taylor.
Oh, that's your Rack of the Week?
And that's what he was saying.
Come on now, son.
Jim says Taylor Mathis walking bats. Why is this the topic we're discussing?
You see that turtleneck picture yesterday, Jim? Come on now, son. Come on now, player.
Yeah, we are familiar with these with these people.
I'm locked in.
Pat said he did not give Joy Taylor that award.
No, thank God.
But that was the origin of where that was coming from.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Isn't that though? That's the funny thing, Mark, about all the women.
We're not getting into the
No.
women in sports media discussion.
It was a great one though. The other day, I had a relative reach out. I go, why do you think they put all after the Marcus Freeman game or the Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
Because they were interviewing, asking about, you're a black guy. What does that mean for you? And he goes, oh, these women keep getting these jobs. And I was just like, Joy Taylor. That's well.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim says bad topic. This might be your last show. Yeah, I'm not touching
We're
this
on
with a
Twitch.
10-foot bowl.
We're on Twitch, and you're the radio guy. I'm just a person.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, you have no stake in this game.
Just a person who works at a university.
Pat said he was gonna tweet Taylor Mathis and let her know that she won the first outside the box score.
This face right with it. Turtlenecks for the win.
Yeah, God.
She should go back to Aruba, though.
This is what happens when you get Pat and Stone in the chat at the same time. It's chaos.
I love it.
I love it too. It makes me laugh. Maybe Taylor could be a weekly guest, says Jim. Taylor Mathis, if you're listening.
She needs some good PR after that whole pump and dump.
That was bad.
She's got an attorney. You don't even bring it up. Like, people who bring it up against her, it's a complete shutdown online now.
What's with these, like, crypto rug pulls?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Mark. My drawing that you saw the other, I have about as much talent as that as understanding crypto.
Yep.
I will be the dumbest person alive.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Brought to you by Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
We were just discussing our lack of understanding of cryptocurrency towards the end of the break.
To a coin?
Hawk
coin?
Yeah, Hawk coin or whatever it was called. Whatever Taylor Mathis was.
I don't know what hers was.
Yeah, I don't know. And now she's working with like a
Novig.
Yeah, Novig. Yeah, the betting company. Is that a book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know. They followed me on Twitter.
Novig?
Yeah.
There's plenty of books out there.
Yeah.
Maybe you could get on that.
That's what I'm thinking.
You'd be a guy.
Yeah, I liked one of their tweets or something. They immediately followed me. I'm like,
get in there, fatty. Let's get the show pumping. Maybe I get a little money on the side here. I'll take your Novig cash.
Yeah, take the no. I always said, because we thought about when I was with the Man-Child show, we were thinking about getting DraftKings as a sponsor.
Sure.
And I was like, and they were like, Mark, you're like the gambler out of all of us. If you could like help us with this deal, I was like, yeah, absolutely. The only thing I ask for or in exchange is I just get like, I don't know, $50 every few weeks. Just put right into the account. Just give me free play all the time, and I'm absolutely all in. But it didn't end up happening, sadly. And Stone said, yeah, no crypto was mentioned during the break. Don't be fooled. It was at the very end.
What?
That's what we were just talking about.
Stone's high.
Yeah, probably. I mean, his name's Stone Sports Podcast. What else would we expect? Do miss the half ounce, half hour.
Need it.
Need to bring it back, Stone. You've got your two co-hosts right here. We know Birdie isn't around anymore, but come on. We had some fun on the half ounce, half hour back in the day. Going back to the Stone said, what day works? Whatever works for you, pal. We want to do it.
Not Wednesdays.
Not Wednesdays. Yep, actually, same here. It can't do Wednesdays. He said he'll bring it back this week.
Wow.
Josh, we're back, baby.
Wow.
I won't be able to do it from my house. I'll have to do it from elsewhere so I can partake.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, Stone. Our people will talk to your people, and we'll make sure that we'll make sure that we get the half ounce, half hour back. But going back to the Kyle McCord situation, listen, obviously I'm thrilled for him, and I wish him nothing but the best of luck coming up in his NFL career. And there's really no reason that I should have been excited for him to come back when he didn't have any eligibility left anyway.
Yeah.
It was just this Hail Mary of the waiver, and maybe the NCAA will grant him, because they granted Diego Pavia, the Vanderbilt quarterback, that extra eligibility, in effect saying that JUCO just doesn't count towards your eligibility, because you played 2 years at JUCO and then 2 years at Vanderbilt. And so that's great for any JUCO athletes that end up
Sure.
going D1 or even D3, any NCAA sanctioned level. But so there was this pie in the sky kind of hope that he would come back, and it was fun. It was fun to think, hey man, maybe
Let's run it back.
Let's run it back. He just set the ACC record for passing yards. He had one of the great quarterback seasons in the history of the conference.
Mm.
Man, it would be fun to do that again, wouldn't it?
Got to be one of the most underrated quarterbacks coming out.
Oh, absolutely. I think 100%. He is not getting talked about enough. And Jim says, realistically, where does McCord go in the draft? Late third round? I think probably around there. He's going to have to perform well. He's playing in the East-West Bowl, which is going to be a good showcase for him. He'll have to perform well at his pro days, and I assume he would go to the combine.
Yeah.
Which I think he will perform in all of those, because I think in terms of arm talent, I don't know how many better quarterbacks there are in college football.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking best case scenario, he could maybe squeeze upper third, late second. That'd be like best case scenario. Something really goes well.
Yeah.
But even with all the good showings he could put on, I don't know that he slips into the second or first round. Definitely not the first round.
No, he's not going to end up in the first round.
Yeah.
But with schedule coming up for Syracuse, and I've got it right here. We start the season in Atlanta against Tennessee.
Easy peasy.
Sure. Pat said, you just said you don't know college QBs. Oh, okay. I don't remember names, but I still watch enough college football.
Pat is on one today.
He
Very
is.
feisty. Are you all right, Pat? You want to talk about it?
Yeah. It's very strange. UConn, who cares? Colgate, who cares? Those, all right, 2 wins at home. At Clemson.
Okay.
At Georgia Tech, who knows? Georgia Tech had a solid year. At Miami. At SMU. We've got Boston College, Duke, North Carolina, and Pitt at home. And we're also at Notre Dame.
So they play the top 3 ACC teams on the road.
Yep.
They play in Tennessee and in Notre Dame.
In Atlanta, playing Tennessee.
Okay.
That's week 0. It's gonna open the season in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Gotcha.
But so they have Tennessee in a neutral site game, at the top 3 ACC teams, and at Notre Dame.
Huh.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Certainly. That's 3 teams that are in the playoff, or that were in the playoff this year. We do have a bit of fun. Bill Belichick coming to the Dome.
Oh, yes.
North Carolina coming to the Dome. So Bill Belichick going to coach in the Loud House, which is a lot of fun. But I look at that schedule, and you got to think, like, if McCord was here next year, those Tennessee, Clemson, Miami, SMU, and Notre Dame games.
Yeah.
You're hoping for 3 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, you're hoping.
That's like,
yeah.
With Kyle McCord, it's like, okay, we might be able to win 3 out of 5 of those games. They're not going to win all 5.
No.
They're probably not going to win 4. You're hoping for 3, fine with 2, I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
without Kyle McCord at quarterback,
it's a good class coming in, though. No, I mean,
yeah, but the quarterback position that's
pretty pivotal. Sure.
Yeah,
you got the kid coming from LSU. You know, he's the guy.
We haven't seen anything. There's tape on him, but that's it. He's thrown like 3 college passes. He's going to be a sophomore, which is nice. He's young, but he's much more mobile.
I like that.
Yeah, which is nice, but we don't know anything about his arm. And he didn't really throw the ball even in high school. I looked up his high school stats, and he had he rarely threw the ball then. So
could be an Army attack, is what you're saying?
Maybe.
They're too talented, though, at the offensive skill position to not throw the ball.
Exactly.
Syracuse.
Yeah, Jim says, he had a 100% completion rate. Yeah, it was 7 for 7.
That ain't bad, Fatty.
He's
accurate.
Over the course of a season, he threw 7 passes.
In high school?
No, in college,
that was
at LSU.
Okay.
Pat says he has a really weird throwing motion. Yeah, I saw that video of him. There was a video that came out a few days ago of him practicing and throwing, and it looks awkward.
Is he a righty?
Yeah.
All that matters. It's fine.
Fair.
I have faith.
Yeah, and there is the freshman coming in, Luke. I want to say Canver is his last name. Something like that. I'm drawing a blank right now, but he's a freshman coming in, QB, who is supposed to be pretty solid. It does have a big arm. That's the one thing we know is he can really throw the ball. So maybe, maybe a little competition in spring, for Carney. Thank you. So maybe a little bit of a QB competition, but man, it was nice having a sure thing.
I mean, I think the biggest difference for Syracuse football going forward is it's Fran. It's Fran.
It is.
Now you
that
can feel
huge.
comfortable,
Yes,
regardless of the pieces.
Yes.
You have faith now in Fran. Our biggest question was, can he coach? He can coach. He can coach. The boys love him.
Mm-hmm.
The boys he's a good piece in the locker room. He's very fun. He's a mouthpiece. He's got clips galore.
Yep.
He's great. He's a great talent. He's a great coach. And you just got to have faith with a guy like that. Instantly catapulting through the ACC rankings for coaches, I believe.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think Fran is a tremendous coach. I'm thrilled with the job he did in his first season.
Yeah.
The expectations are now through the roof for what he can do with this program, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing for if he fails those expectations. But if he doesn't, all of a sudden people were talking about Syracuse football again this year, which has not been the case in many years.
I'm kind of sad. I'm still mad that they got screwed out of their bowl game against a bigger guy to really make a statement. Because they sneak into the top 25 at the last week.
I hated that Washington State matchup when it was announced, and I hated the fact that they had 24 guys in the transfer portal, no coach, no OC, no DC, no special teams. They got screwed.
Yeah.
They got absolutely screwed.
Could have been a big statement.
Yeah. And it really would have. And McCord had an unbelievable game, and SU's offense looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and Jim says McCord got to set all kinds of records against Washington State, though. Yeah, and that's great, but he might have been able to do, look what he did against Miami the last week of the season. He put up huge numbers in that game, too. So he doesn't need the softball matchup to put up numbers. We've seen him do it week in and week out this year against some really good opponents. So I would have liked to see a better matchup for Syracuse in that game, and I think McCord would have done whatever he did against Washington State against pretty much anybody because the guy's just that good.
Yeah.
So I do fully believe in Fran Brown. I do fully believe in the direction that this program is going. It's just coming off of a season like this to look at that schedule is quite daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Jim said SU win total at 6, maybe under with a little juice. I think I wouldn't bet the under, but this isn't a team that's going to win 10 games like we saw this year.
You don't think so?
With that schedule, I don't.
It's a lack of faith, Marky.
It's just such a tough. I mean, you open the season against Tennessee, you going to Notre Dame, going to Miami now with Carson Beck at quarterback, who, like I said, I don't think is great, but has won 2 national championships.
Sure.
So he clearly can't be that bad.
I mean, 2 of them made the playoff this year, right? SMU and Clemson.
Yeah.
SMU, Tennessee, 3, and Notre Dame. 4.
And Notre Dame. 4 teams that SU plays next year played in the playoff this year. One of them is in the national championship game.
They're going to lose a lot of guys. You got to think. You got to think.
Like, that's
nobody repeats. What is this, Bama now? Come on now.
Miami opens up against the Irish next year. That's fun.
Why don't they just join a real conference then? They want to play real teams. What are we doing?
They have the best deal in sports.
I hate Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame sucks for that.
But they'll never join a conference.
No, there's no need to. They should just not be allowed to play in the playoff if they're not going to join a conference. Is my bold take. Sorry,
okay,
Pat.
interesting.
You're not playing the game. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're not competing with real team. You get to pick and choose which ones you want to play when, and you're not playing the game. So you don't get to get the rewards.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah, fair
just
enough.
join a conference.
Yeah.
You can join the worst one. I don't care. Join the Big 12. I don't care.
Join the SWAC.
Sure, start your own conference with Washington State and Oregon State. Just call it the Notre Dame Beatdown Conference. I don't care.
No, the Pac-12 is coming back.
So join that and run through it.
Pat says you're brain dead.
Sure.
I honestly don't really have a take on this. I don't see a reason why Notre Dame would join a conference, and I don't have a problem with them playing in the playoff. James Franklin was talking about this, the Penn State coach, like during the lead up to that game, which I thought was very strange.
Was he doing my thing, or was he defending them?
No, he was doing your thing.
Oh, okay,
he's like,
cool.
With Marcus Freeman sitting there sitting right there. He's like, yeah, I just think if you don't play a conference championship, then it doesn't matter.
Bang.
He just said that to Marcus Freeman. It's like, all right, that's a weird time to bring this up when they're about to beat you in a
would have been way
game.
cooler if they won that game.
Yeah, it would have been way cooler if your quarterback didn't stink and blew that game for you. But them's the breaks, I guess. Speaking of breaks, we got to take one.
Oh,
so
look at that.
How about that, huh?
Wow.
That's a professional right there. So we're going to take a break, come back. Much more to come here on Outside the Box Score. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of Central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek. Jim, I didn't even see your comment of odds Mark hits 2 straight breaks on time. Yes, plus 150. I don't think I mean, that one was on time. I don't know if the first one was. First one seemed a little late.
Breaks aren't real.
No.
Just like Notre Dame's schedule. Breaks aren't real. Sorry, Pat. I'm going in on it today. I just don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say bold to do that with like a massive Notre Dame fan.
I know. Just trying to poke the bear.
Now the much sadder topic, SU's 1-game winning streak. Yeah, that's probably going to get snapped today. I'm so out on this team, dude.
They just aren't good.
They're just not good.
Now, a team that's pretty good, Mark. Playing a big matchup today.
Who do they got today?
Who else but UConn?
Ooh.
In D.C., getting 4.5 at home. Pretty tight line.
That is a tight line.
They played Marquette on Tuesday. They were getting 2.5 maybe in Marquette.
Mm-hmm.
Or, no, it had to be a little bit more. 3.5?
Probably 3.5, yeah.
They were up 12 at halftime, Mark.
Holy
and
cow.
they blew that game.
Ooh.
They have a little bit of a foul problem, and they don't make free throws, which is pretty much the 2 most important things in college football, in college basketball. It's got to be bad.
Outside the Box Score, what's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, Jamie, I'll throw you on hold. Time for tennis talk. Pat says he'll be in the building for Johnny's Villanova fun tonight.
Oh. There you go.
I like that nickname. Pat also said Notre Dame beat 6 ranked teams this year. Sounds like a real schedule.
The ones they picked to play or the ones they were made to win a conference? How about the NFL today?
Oh, yeah.
On average, 1.5 upsets a year, going based off of seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you find those upsets, Marky? Chargers have a chance today, and the Steelers would have a chance today.
Yeah, it's based on seeding. I like the Chargers, but they're also a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, that one seems same with the Vikings are going to be like that too. But I don't know. That's telling me that maybe it's upset heavy, but I think some dogs may be barking tomorrow afternoon, Mark.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Of course you do.
I
You like it too?
Maybe. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Going to jump over to the phone lines. I think I know where this conversation is going to go. We've got Jamie, the FedEx guy, calling in. Jamie, how are we doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, Mark. I had a question. Josh, he's the tennis guy, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Hey, Josh, Australian Open, who you got? You think the old man Djokovic is going to rip a major to get the overall number one most majors ever, men or women? He didn't win one last year. You think he's got enough in the tank to pull down one more?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the best value out there for sure. If you're looking at a little future wager here on who to win, he's got the best value for sure. I don't know. His form was definitely down last year, not competing as well. Like you said, didn't win a major. Australia is a great first one to get to. Guys are rested, but they're really not in fit form necessarily all the time. Joker's just a menace. Brings in Andy Murray to help coach throughout Australia, which is pretty interesting. I think he's definitely going to be a part of it. I think he's going to make a run. He's in the harder half of the draw. Sinner, just easy draw, should easily make a quarter semi in the conversation. And then the bottom half is just going to eat each other up with Zverev, Djokovic, Alcaraz. One of them's going to make it. I don't know who. I would lean Djokovic, though.
Oh, wow. You got more confidence in him down under than I do because of that draw. He's got a potential quarter against Alcaraz, Zverev in the semis, Sinner in the championship. He ain't going to have enough in the tank to pull this one down. I think his best shot's Wimbledon to get one more. And then I had a question for you. I often ask Jim the Man-Child Lurch this question. In their prime, Federer, Sampras, Wimbledon, center court for the championship, like the 05 to 08 Federer versus when Sampras was at the top of his game. Who would you take in that?
Wow. It's going 5. I don't know if I don't know if Federer could break Sampras in the prime at Wimbledon. I don't know. I'd probably still lean Federer for strokes, like just ground stroke game, but that is a tough one there, Jamie. The serve and volley on grass with Sampras was nearly unbeatable. I don't know how anyone could do it, but if it was anyone, it'd be prime Federer to do it.
Absolutely. I would, I was the big Federer fan, but I think, because, like you said, Sampras almost won it 8 years in a row, except for that 1 year when he lost to Krajicek early in the tournament. But I would say that the serve and volley back in the day, I think Sampras might take him in a close one. That's the first time I've ever admitted that, because I was a big Federer fan. And then, Mark, Boy Green's waiting for you to go in studio to get your picture taken right next to him. He's loving it. He's been talking about it all week because he loved this beatdown that you gave him. So I can't wait for you to go in studio to pose with your trophy.
I will be coming in soon. I was talking to Lurch about it on Wednesday. I will be making an appearance on the Man-Child show. Probably, maybe this week, if not next week. Coming up pretty soon. Yes, I did give Paul an absolute shellacking in the fantasy football finals. I mean, thanks for coming out, but your team did not show up. The coach was there. The team certainly wasn't. My team almost had the greatest playoff run of all time. Was, I believe, 9 points shy of scoring 200 points in every round of the playoffs.
Humble as always. That's what they say about Mark here.
Listen,
truly,
I don't boast about much, especially when it comes to fantasy football, because I haven't won a league in a number of years. So it feels good to be back in the winner's circle. I'll be at that live draft for the Champs League next year. Wow. And I'm super excited. And I'm just gonna, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go win that one too, because why not? All right. I want to beat down Paul in every possible league. Get me in that stupid Quad Cities league, too. Get me in the lowest one just so I can keep beating up on Paul, Mr. Fantasy Football Expert. Starts thinking about fantasy football around the time of the Super Bowl. All right. Starts reading his books and his magazines. And I just show up on draft night and pick the best team in the league. So that's what I got to say about that, Jamie.
That sounds great. And then I just had one more thing. You guys keep talking about this LSU kid that is coming to the Orange. Didn't that guy decommit and reopen up his recruitment, or did he recommit?
No, that was a rumor going around. That didn't actually happen. People were talking about it might happen, but he didn't decommit. Okay,
that's cool. Well, keep going. Good luck, Orange. Maybe they'll keep the good streak going, because we're in a football town now for SU sports. Basketball's an afterthought.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Have a good weekend. All right,
You're
buddy.
welcome. You too. Bye.
All right, there he is, Jamie, the FedEx guy, calling in. I knew he was going to talk tennis with you.
Go Hoyas, Jamie.
Yeah,
I know you're out there.
He is
Big
a
game
big,
today.
Big Hoyas fan, Jamie. He always likes to get his shots in for
It's a
for SU basketball.
great time of year.
I'm not asking him that, chat. You know, they're asking him what his pick for what is. The award we were giving out earlier. No, they were saying ask Jamie what his pick is. No.
Everyone who calls in gets to get a pick. And I get 2 picks. And so then we no, it's a great time here. So many times are underrated sports times.
Yep.
And I think this is an underrated one because it's not the big sports. Like there's no baseball right now, obviously. Basketball is in the worst rut that I can remember. I have seen no buzz about the NBA at all this year.
No.
But they say it's because the illegal streaming. It's been going on for a couple of years now, and it's been way more popular.
Yeah.
In the last, I don't know what the problem is with the NBA, but all that talk about, it's the fastest rising, it's plateaued or even fallen. I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, with tennis coming up with the Australian Open, you got NFL football, college football playoff now.
Yep.
Great time of year. And
college basketball.
College basketball is heating up with conference play.
Yep.
I used to do the greatest sports day, maybe, for me. It has now been taken from me. There'd be a double up day on the last day. So the Australian Open would stream Sunday morning at 3 a.m.
Yep, I remember.
And the night before that, the same night, basically going into that, would be WWE's Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So I would watch the Royal Rumble with buddies, enjoy that, make a hell of a night out of it, stay up and watch the AO. And this year, it's been taken from us. The Australian Open will end in 2 weeks, and then the following week is the Royal Rumble.
Boo!
They've screwed me. Triple
Boo!
H has shoved it up my keister, and now I'm done.
Come on, Triple H. You got to be better than that.
Come on, Trips.
You got to think about the huge Venn diagram that is tennis fans and wrestling fans, and there's one person in it.
True.
It's just Josh right in the middle.
That's
just like,
true.
Yay.
Ooh, this is the best night ever. Nobody gives 2 craps about either of those events.
It's just you.
Yeah.
Which, hey, that's why we love you, Josh.
They need autistic people like me. That's why wrestling survives. Can't wait to see John Cena this year. Catch me in Toronto at the Elimination Chamber, baby.
All right. We've got to take a break. Jim's out here putting links to Taylor Mathis tweets in the chat.
Turn that computer around.
It's just a link, dude.
We're gonna click the link.
Okay. All right. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back in just a minute here on Outside the Box Score. Your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score. This is insanity.
God bless Taylor Mathis.
I don't know why I'm putting your microphone up. You're not even over there. This is Stone said I don't even know what her voice sounds like.
We need to get her back in Aruba, folks. Let's get a crowdfund going to get her back for walking bets at Aruba.
Why? Why is this what you guys decided to talk about today?
Next week
Jim said this was a great last show. It's okay. No one from the station listens to me.
Stopped listening to us 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think they listened to my first show and they're like, yeah, he'll be fine. Oh, God. I do not condone the actions of the people in my Twitch chat. Have to agree, a weekly Taylor segment could help ratings.
Who said that, Pat?
No, Jim.
Jim?
Believe it or not, ratings are pretty good today. Of course, when this is what we're talking about.
Trying to find my other betting girls. I'll be honest, I don't care for a lot of betting. I will say this, for as much as I see Taylor Mathis content, I have never once bet one of her things.
No, God, no. Me
Never.
neither.
I don't know how she does even. I've never checked up on it.
I feel like
Couldn't
not
care.
well.
I don't know. Does it matter? When you're that, I mean, when you're in that position, does it matter?
Mm-hmm. Stone says he has no clue how she does and does not care.
I mean, the turtleneck post from the other day, a great top tweet here. Quote tweet on it: Confederates would have won the Civil War if Robert E. Lee had those cannons on the front line.
Jeez.
I mean, come on now, Sutton. I mean, we are just cooking today with Taylor.
Madness.
Come on, we got another one calling in. We'll get a Mac of the Week candidate.
Hello? Oh, okay. I'll mention it, Jamie. Jamie giving his Super Bowl prediction.
I thought it was his Rack of the Week pick. He's like,
No.
you guys are talking about Rack of the Week. I got to hop in here.
Pat says Taylor Mathis's existence drives his girlfriend nuts. Yeah, I can imagine.
I keep it away.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. Jamie just called back during the break and gave his quick Super Bowl prediction. Chiefs, Commanders.
Commanders?
For Jamie going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
We were talking quickly earlier in the break. You mentioned you were on watch tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I thought you were talking about my Philadelphia Eagles getting upset by the Green Bay Packers, which wouldn't entirely shock me. But no, of course, the number one Buffalo Bills hater in the world was talking about how he thinks Denver is going to beat Buffalo because you're not smart.
I'll mention I think the Eagles actually win pretty handedly. I think Love's banged up a little bit. Watson's out.
Jalen Hurts doesn't know where he is. He's been concussed for 3 weeks.
He's been bad all year. They're fine. Worst case, they bring in that McKee kid and they rock the house. I mean, they got backups better than some people's starters, McKee and Pickett. But I will say, Buffalo, you got to watch out there. But I mean, Denver is the hardest defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Best defense in the league. They got two of the best corners in the league. They already have terrible wide receivers in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need their hero, Josh, to run through the Denver defense. I don't know if it's possible. I'm interested. 9.5 is crazy, though.
9.5 is a big number, especially for a playoff game, but I just don't see the Broncos beating up on the Bills.
Was it the only real bad thing that's going in is that Denver basically backed up into the playoffs. I mean, they needed to win the last 4 weeks and just got a win because the Chiefs started nobody. They looked really good in that game, but they were playing like a borderline preseason game where they played their starters.
Yeah.
And KC didn't. So
yeah, I mean, Pat says, do you think a rookie is coming into Buffalo in the playoffs and winning? Not a chance. I tend to agree. And Bo Nix has looked a lot better this year than I thought he was going to. Pat also said, where did Tanner McKee go to college, fellas? I actually know that one. He went to Stanford.
Bang.
So Bo Nix has looked really solid this year, at least towards the end of the year as the quarterback of the Broncos. Much more solid than a lot of people expected him to. So the quarterback play, I did not look that up. I knew
how could he have looked it up?
I looked it up like a week ago or a week or two ago when he was playing.
They probably mentioned
I remember, or they might have mentioned it or something, but I knew he went to Stanford. No, what I was looking at on my phone was a tweet that Stone sent us in a group chat that I'm not going to mention on air.
I'll take a peek.
Yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, Pat said, "LOL, I'm in your head." You are. You're absolutely in my head. Pat's got me in a box in this show today.
Mm-hmm.
Stone said, "No, you shouldn't mention that on the show." I'm not going to. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the
Tanner McKee goes to Stanford.
Yeah, okay. No, the Broncos and Bills game. Going into Buffalo is a tall task for anybody, unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But anyone else in the playoffs going into Buffalo in that environment in this weather, I believe they're going to be getting more snow tomorrow, is not easy. with that fan base and how loud that place gets in the playoffs. I've been there. That place is an absolute madhouse during the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're gonna get rattled if you're anybody, especially a rookie on a team that, in my opinion, overperformed this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Denver too?
Yeah, I wasn't huge on Denver coming into the season. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. They said it does snow in Denver.
It's true.
Yeah, the weather probably doesn't play that much of a factor for the Broncos, but
Are you familiar with Sean Payton's records against bald head coaches since 2017?
no.
He's 34-12. So I'm just saying, Sean McDermott better do something with it. Better help out.
Why is that a stat that you had?
Because Twitter is the best place in the world. It's fantastic.
I do agree. Twitter is fantastic.
There was a graph that showed it. There was a clear spreadsheet that listed out each head coach and performance. And thank you. Most of those come from Dan Quinn and Marv Lewis. But hey,
yeah,
he dominates.
That's a great stat. Actually,
It was one of the funniest stats I've ever seen in my life. I literally had to fact check it, like look through it to be like, is this real? And it is real.
That's insane.
He eats up bald head coaches.
That's like the one I saw the other night that the Indiana Pacers had the lowest possible jersey number total on the court. They had a 00, 0, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
So the combined total of their jersey numbers was a whopping 6, which is the lowest total you could possibly have. So
that's impressive.
Congrats to the Indiana Pacers for setting an NBA record.
Woo!
That's how much I've seen about the NBA this year. Is people are only talking about jersey number combinations.
I mean, normally I'm kind of in tune with it to an extent. I couldn't tell you who's leading both conferences right now.
Cleveland and OKC.
Really?
Yeah,
OKC's
the only reason I know that is because they just played on Wednesday.
Cleveland's on a big win streak. Yes, I knew that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, they had a huge win streak to start the season. Cleveland's been really good this year.
Okay.
Did go into Boston and lose like most teams do, but yeah, OKC just beat the Celtics last week, actually. So OKC is really good. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is incredible.
They were legit last year too, so
Yeah.
I'm happy for that. That'd be fun.
I mean, Shea and Chet is such a great young combination.
Oh yeah,
OKC is going to be a problem for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and you're totally right about the NBA. No one's talking about it.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's really weird what happened with the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think part of it is so much of the NBA conversation is dominated by one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just talks about LeBron now.
Yep.
No, like people aren't talking about like SGA, or Chet Holmgren, or Victor Wembanyama gets a lot of talk because he's unbelievable, but it's, so much of the conversation is dominated by LeBron. And if you're someone like me, I'm tired of that conversation. We've been talking about this guy for 20 years, as we should. He's arguably the best player in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be every single conversation is about that.
It's a weird one because they do have, like we talk all the time with baseball about building young stars, and the NBA is so easy for that. And they have plenty of them.
They have a million of them.
Halliburton, like you said, Wemby. The list goes on and on. But for some people, I don't know if it just doesn't hit, if they don't get the attention, the markets they play in. I don't know what it is, but it's a real problem, and it's for people who get paid more than me to figure out why.
And load management doesn't help either. Yeah, the fact that these guys play 40 games of an 80-game season is like,
you could tune into any game, and it is legit like they're walking around playing very tough. Unless you see a good match, like I bet you that OKC Boston game was like competitive, they're trying to win, whatever. But you tune in any random like Kings Trailblazers game, they're running up and down. They're just walking up and down. They're just having a good time.
It's not that fun to watch.
No, it's really not. It feels like an all-star game in every game. Yeah. Until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. The NBA games don't start until there's 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
That's when an NBA game really starts.
Couldn't agree more.
We got to take another timeout. We'll be back in just a minute here on Outside the Box Score. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek. That's a great. We can talk about this during the break, and not on the show. The Jets are interviewing everybody in the world except Ben Johnson.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
What is wrong with you?
Ben Johnson is like 1-1 on everyone's board,
Yeah.
I feel like. Just for whatever, offensive talent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a feeling the Bears are going to get him.
That would be the coolest. I think that'd be the coolest.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Glenn might go too. Like I think the Lions could be in a real
Oh yeah,
trouble spot.
I think Glenn's going to get hired.
If they don't win this year, and then if Dan Campbell is the sole leader on a team, tough.
Yeah.
Tough. That guy is just personality.
Yeah.
And he's stupid.
Oh
I
yeah, that's right. You hate Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
I forgot about that.
He's dumb. He makes stupid decisions. Everyone likes he's got big balls. He's got big balls, and it works out. But it's not going to work out. He's going to cost his team a playoff chance or something. He's going to ruin it. It has to fall at some point.
Stone says, I know a guy that knows a guy in the Jets, and supposedly there was a mutual, like, this isn't gonna happen. Why? Oh, okay. Okay. So they essentially said, like,
He's not coming.
yeah, like they know he's not gonna come, so why even bother? Which fair.
He doesn't have the pieces. Like with Rodgers, he just probably can't do fun things.
No, you can't do anything. And we're back, wrapping up another edition of Outside the Box Score here on the Score 1260. My name is Mark Rowlands. Josh Boheim here with me in the studio as most of the time. I won't say
That's right.
as
Every
always,
day.
but every day.
Every day I'm here.
We're a weekly show, and he shows up every day.
Could be. I'd show up more often.
It is a weekly show.
Oh yeah, daily show. So
Yeah. If it was a daily show, I'm sure you would be here more often. Jim says this was a top 5 show we've ever done for all the wrong reasons.
Wow.
I think that's fair.
I give you 2 reasons why it was pretty good.
Stop it. Damn you, stop it. Jim said quick game day predictions before sign off in the SU game. I have no interest. I seriously, I'm so out on this team that games at 3:00 on everyone's favorite network to watch the ACC.
The CW.
Thank you. And Pat said a blind squirrel finds a nut. Screw you, buddy. Talking about us having a good show. And games at 3. Will I watch it? Maybe. I'm at a point where it's a maybe I'll watch SU basketball games. That is a point I have never been at.
I mean, what's the fun? Donnie Friedman?
If he plays.
Right. The 15 minutes he's on the court and Eddie Lampkin is
and he was
cool.
hurt last game. He had a boot on. So, yeah, I mean, Elijah Moore's fun to watch if he plays more than 8 minutes. You know, like, it's J.J. Starling's back. That's great.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he is. He's been back for a couple games.
Wow.
Run him out there with the actual talent on the team and see what see what can happen offensively. But
it's crazy to keep just trying the same stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta feel pretty content in your job, I think, to do that.
Mm-hmm. Jim says the NFL kicks off at 4:30, so you can't watch all the SU game anyway. Normally, I would just wait until the SU game's over to switch over to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just gonna be waiting for until 4:30.
Who do you like in the games today? Chargers getting.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. I don't think Houston's got it.
And then like Ravens -8 or something.
9.5. That's a big number.
Ooh.
I like the Ravens to win. I think the Steelers might cover that number. Steelers defense is still really good.
Ravens Texans ML. Take it.
All right,
that's what I like.
Yeah,
I like the Texans. I think home team, and I think they're more put together. They've had some like real like head scratching games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Miami game comes to mind. 2 weeks ago they had a real one. It was like, how do they not work? But I think they work. I'm confident that they'll figure it out today.
Mm-hmm.
Stroud is good. Mixon is good. Nico is good. Their defense is good. I think they need to figure.
But
it
also
out
Justin Herbert is good and Ladd McConkey is good.
Ladd McConkey is white.
Yeah, but he's also good.
Touche.
Stone said Ladd touchdown. That's what he's thinking.
Wow. I saw a crazy bet rocking around Twitter. It was like Ladd and a guy to have 5 yards.
Yeah,
in
I
every
saw that.
Yeah, dude. Same Twitters. Twitter's great.
Yeah, we do have identical Twitter pages.
If Taylor's riding it, I'm on it.
We'll be back next week, maybe with less Taylor Mathis talk. Maybe not. You have to tune in to find out. 11 a.m. on the Score 1260 next Saturday. We'll see you then. Peace.